Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is Russia and North Korea are going to destroy America. And we're about to cover that from Dimitri Duduman, but I'm going to show you why I believe Vicky Goforth Parnell's dream talking about North Korea is confirmed today. All right, first of all, we encourage you to click like, share, and subscribe. That will help us get this word out to more people. Also, I have a Bible study each Friday evening from 6:30 to 8 p.m., Prophecy Club, Facebook, and YouTube, and we read the Bible. Also, I encourage you to click the QR code in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen and join Prophecy Club for an automatic monthly donation of $9.90 or more. If God has blessed you right now, we could really use it. Okay. Let me, first of all, I seldom read this, but let me go through and actually read all of it because it's going to tie in. So this was 1984, the angel came, which, by the way, 1984 is 39 years. Next year will be 40 years since the angel delivered this message to Dimitri. So if God has only given America 40 years to repent, it will be up next year. And I don't know that. I'm just pointing that out. Anyway. The angel said the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the oceans, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, Central America, Mexico, and two of the countries I cannot remember. And I think one of the other countries is North Korea. And I might add that me and Michael Bolda also believe that Venezuela is going to be part of it. And possibly, well, if you read Isaiah 13, it's telling you that Iraq is going to be part of it too. Anyway, we'll attack and defeat America, and in one day, 1 hour, so great riches will come to naught. Then God will raise up China, Japan, and many other nations. They'll go against the Russians and defeat the Russians. They'll back them to the gates of Paris where they sign a peace treaty. But they make the Russians their leader. Then all of the nations with the Russians as the leader go down to attack Israel. It's not that they want to. God makes them. That's the hook in the jaw, Ezekiel 38:4. Israel can't count on the help of the Jews in America, so she cries for Messiah. Jesus returns in the clouds and defeats the armies of the world. It's Armageddon. All right, now, what if the good guy gets arrested because of these 4 indictments against him? What if those that back him get the military and go in and get him out? Then all the Christians will be targeted by the Antichrist for persecution, roundup, and termination. Let me point out a couple of scriptures before I get to where we're going here. Revelation 18. This is talking about the America. Matter of fact, the angel Gabriel specifically said all of Revelation 18 is talking about America. Reward her, meaning the sinners in America. Reward her even as she rewarded you. There's persecution coming to the Christians in America, my brothers and sisters. In other words, reward the sinners in America for how they killed the Christians. That's what that sentence. Read it again. Reward her even as she rewarded you. And double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. How much America has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I'm going to go into pre-trib. No, it doesn't say that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's definitely true of America. Right now, we think that we are the greatest of all nations of all human history, and nobody can take us down. Consequently, America is not listening. God is speaking. God is not, or the Americans are not listening. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Now, specific scriptures from Revelation 18 talking about death, persecution to Christians. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, For God has avenged you on her. Who is the you? Right here. Right here. See where it says you? What's that? Who is that you? God hath avenged you on her. Okay, who's the her here? The her here are the sinners in America. Rejoice over the sinners being killed, thou heaven and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged the Christians, that's what the you is here, the Christians for being killed by the sinners. Then Revelation 18:24, and in her, talking about America, was found the blood of prophets and saints and all that were slain upon the earth. Now wait a minute. Are you saying that they get all of the people that are not Christians? Or actually, in this case, it's talking about Christians. Are you saying that they round up all of the Christians in the entire globe and bring them to America so they can be killed here? No. America is supposed to be the police officer that is holding up the standard, that's holding up the wall, that is keeping the Christians from around the world being killed. We fail at that job, so that's what it's talking about. In America is found the blood of prophets and saints. In other words, they are literally killed here. But it goes on to say that we were supposed to be the ones protecting the rest of the world in terms of the Christians. And we failed. We failed the Christians of the world. That's what it's really saying. Now, Vicky Goforth Parnell's North Korea vision, I believe, is confirmed in these few articles and the other thing I'm about to show you. Kim Jong Un tells North Korea to be ready for war with the U.S. What? What nation would say that is not serious? To be ready for war with the U.S. dictator claims military exercises are actually a rehearsal for an invasion. She is openly saying she's about to attack Japan and South Korea. That's what she's openly saying. And is it the art of the war that says that when your enemy says something like they're going to attack you and kill you, perhaps you should listen? I don't think America is listening. Anyway, it goes on to say, Kim Jong Un has called for his military to be ready, pushing that U.S., South Korean, and Japanese military exercises are actually signs of a coming invasion. See, he's saying, he's looking for a reason. It's kind of like when the bully walks up and kicks sand on the guy's shoes, trying to get him to start a fight. Just get him to swing at him, and then they're into a fight, you see. Kim called President Joe Biden, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, and Japanese Prime Minister the gang bosses of the three countries. Kim is objecting to military exercises. They've been doing them since the Korean War. It didn't end, but since it stopped. Okay, let's go on. Next article. North Korea's Kim orders sharp increase in missile production just days before U.S. South Korea drills. North Korean leader toured the major munitions factories and ordered a drastic increase in production of missiles and missiles and other weapons, selling more weapons to Russia for its war. Okay, what's it say? U.S. officials believe that Russia's defense minister recently talked with North Korea about selling more weapons to Russia for its war with Ukraine. Well, rest assured, the prophecies say that Russia has been supplying North Korea and Iraq and Iran with money and with weapons and with technology. They're all kind of in the same bathtub together and are all preparing to attack America. Kim visited factories producing tactical missiles, mobile launch platforms, armored vehicles and artillery shells, and other munitions factories. Kim set a goal to drastically boost production capacity so that the facility can mass-produce missiles to meet the needs of a frontline military unit. In other words, we are preparing for war. North Korea has openly said it. Nuclear war is imminent. North Korea. Different article, different point. The world is just a step away from nuclear conflict, said North Korean Defense Minister General Kang Sun-nam, said in a statement made public on Tuesday and presented at the Moscow International Security Conference. The official blamed Washington's desire for regime change in Pyongyang for ratcheting up tensions. He also accused the U.S. of increasing its military presence in the region by deploying nuclear-capable aircraft and a submarine to the area. There's more. North Korea sacks its top general, orders military to prepare for an offensive war. Now, why do you think it sacked, or Kim Jong Un sacked the top general? I think it's because the top general said, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to go along. Would probably set his foot down. And so Kim Jong Un just said, okay, you're fired. Replace him. Simple as that. We are going to attack America. I think that's what's going on, and that's what Vicky was told. Just 1 week after Russian Defense Minister Shoigu paid a state visit to North Korea, leader Kim Jong Un sacked his top general and ordered increases, notice it says, immediately ordered increases in weapons production, combat drills, in preparation for an offensive war. Well, we can fill in the blank, an offensive war with America. The meeting also dealt with dismissing, transferring to other posts, or newly appointing some leading commanders. In other words, anybody didn't want to go along with it, you can hit the door. Kim analyzed the hostile situation on the Korean Peninsula and called for further stepping up the war preparations of the Korean People's Army in an offensive way. North Korea is preparing and planning to be one of the nations to take out America. And America, what are we doing? Well, let's see. We're checking to make sure everybody has all of their, maybe I shouldn't say that. All of our P's and Q's right in the military and in businesses and our schools, and that we're not offending anybody. North Korea says it simulated nuclear attacks on South Korea and rehearsed occupation of its rival. North Korea said Thursday its latest missile launches simulated scorched earth. What's that? That's nuclear. They're openly saying, we got nuclear, and we're planning on using it. We're going to use it on your face, America. Nuclear strikes on South Korea, and that it's also been rehearsing an occupation of its rival's territory in the event of conflict. In other words, they are preparing to take out South Korea, and they're preparing to attack America. The North's military said the missiles carried out their simulated tracks through air bursts, suggesting that it confirmed the explosions of dummy warheads at a set altitude. I'm telling you, war is not very far off, just like we've been told. All right, now let's get to the vision, actually. Russia agreed to use nuclear bombs in the United States. It's the third time I read this, but I think it's important. With my eyes fully open, I see a grand office with Vladimir Putin. He begins a video call. The video screen is about 8 by 10. It's a private call. The device guarantees a secure call and translates the languages. The first voice says, "What do you want, Vladimir Putin?" "Have you considered my proposal yet, Kim?" Putin says. "I have, Vladimir, but what's in it for me and North Korea?" Putin says, "If you join my coalition and aid in the destruction of America, you will become a strong country with my help and with all of Mother Russia behind you. I shall give you more technology to advance your weaponry as well as your economy." Kim pauses. Says, "We have no love here for the United States. What do you require of me? Because I know you, Vladimir Putin. You do nothing without improving your position. Kim, you wound me with your words. Vladimir, that is the way of a good leader. Now tell me, if I join your coalition, what will you require of me in North Korea? I know you well, Vladimir. You do nothing without it being to your advantage somehow." Putin says, "I would require you to take control of South Korea." Bingo, just like the articles say. South Korea. Because if not, she will throw her support for the United States once we've struck. "That will not be easy," Kim said. "But if I agree to your coalition terms, then I would require something from you." Vladimir said, "Then what would you require? Something besides the generous offer I've already given you? What would this requirement be, Kim?" Kim's face was serious as he said quickly, "I have promised the United States a Christmas gift. My gift is late. Late gifts can be sent at any time. My requirement is this, that North Korea gets a turn at unleashing our nuclear weapons upon their American soils during the strikes before the invasion. If this requirement is met, then I will verbally agree to your coalition. I will sign it the moment You make your first strike with your nuclear hypersonic weapons. Upon the United States, these are my terms and my conditions. Putin's face spreads into a pure evil grin. Then he says, I like your style, Kim. By all means, join in the fun. You can be given a shot on the 3rd. I wish I knew what that meant. Kim Jong Un's face broke into a huge grin, and he began laughing a horrible laugh. Putin joins in. I see both laughing. Kim Jong Un says, then Vladimir Putin, we shall join your coalition. Thank you for your generous offer and for all the prior advanced technology and weaponry that Russia has been so willing to help us with. North Korea shall rise to be a strong nation. Then it is done, Putin said. Yes, Vladimir, it's a deal. North Korea should join you, and the other nations gathered against the United States, and I will enjoy watching her burn. Then the vision disappears, and it's gone. Vicky says, Jesus, help us. Jesus says, all is set, daughter. I heard him respond, all is set. Prepare your heart in me. In me, daughter of faith and grace, and in me alone. Next article, The Sun. Nuclear alert. Putin puts 16,000 mile per hour Doomsday nuke dubbed Satan II, parenthesis, that can sink UK in one strike, parenthesis, on combat duty for the first time. Did you catch that? Here's more. The unstoppable intercontinental missile system. All right, now let me explain this. Okay, all right, here. Okay, let's say this is the missile. Here's the way it works. Old missiles went like this. Boom, okay? So you could calculate the trajectory, send something up to hit it where it was going. These missiles don't do this. I've seen, there's a video, I don't know, somebody sent me a video of how the nose cone works. The nose cone, how do I say? The nose cone works like this. It moves around. It can move up and down and left and right. The nose cone on the missile moves all around, which means the missile can go up and then start to fall, and then goes back up, starts to fall and goes back up. And the missile can also go right or left or up or down. So you can't track the trajectory. Even though it's 18,000 miles an hour, you can't track it, can't stop it. The unstoppable intercontinental missile system could sink the UK in one strike. It is the size of a 14-story tower block. The nuke can reach speeds of nearly 16,000 miles an hour. The Sarmat strategic complex has been put on combat duty. In other words, we got them, we're ready to fire them, we're ready to use them, they got nukes in them, we're ready to go to war. But no one seems to be listening. Russia, actually, hang on. It's not that the U.S. and the Brits are not listening. It's that God is closing their eyes. Remember, I read this in Jeremiah 51, I believe it is, chapter 51, where there was sleep, perpetual sleep, and not wake. They're going to party, they're going to have a good time, they're going to be enjoyed, and they will not see the trouble coming. The nuke can reach speeds of nearly 16,000 miles an hour. Russia will most likely undock the Russian module from the International Space Station after 2030. Now, I wish we had that long. I don't think we have that long. The Armageddon weapon is 116 feet in length and can be loaded with 15, look at that, 15 light nuclear warheads at once. Okay, they're light in weight, but they're not low in power. So that's the reason it says it's not using just one nuke. It sends one rocket, one missile, one carrier to deliver 15 nuclear weapons. Strategically placed, they could destroy something the size of all of England or all of Texas. Think about that, okay? That makes sense why I believe it's, I need to look that up again. I want to say it's either Isaiah 19 or Isaiah 21, but I think it's Isaiah 21. It says, the earth turneth upside down and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Literally, the earth does this on its axis. And see, that's one of the reasons that no man knoweth the day or the hour, because by the time Jesus returns, what time is it? Okay, if the earth turns upside down and is not spinning at 24 hours per revolution anymore, who knows what day it is? That's the reason no man knows the day or the hour. Let's go on, though. The weapon was designed to carry out nuclear strikes in countries thousands of miles away in the U.S. and in Europe. It has a potential to obliterate the United Kingdom some 1,600 miles away in just 6 minutes. Think about that. And with an operational range of up to 11,180 miles, the deadly missile is reported to have no equivalent in the West. And I'm going to add what they said earlier, it also can't be stopped. Means that when Russia pushes the button, a lot of people die. One strike could sink Britain, he says. Sink Britain under the sea. The island is so small that one Sarmak missile is enough to drown it once and for all. I can destroy an area the size of Texas or England. A single launch, and there is no England anymore, once and for all. Putin ally Dmitry Rogozin said almost 50 Satan II missiles would be soon on combat duty. Now, hang on. See, we want to think that there's 15 missiles divided by 50. We want to think that, I don't know, what is that, 4 or 5? Okay? No, because it said Satan II. Satan II is the whole missile. Each one of those missiles has 15 warheads. They're saying whatever 50 times 15 is how many warheads they actually say that they're about to have on combat duty. And by the way, the United States and Russia now no longer have a START 2. They no longer have to report to us how many missiles they have, where they're located, none of that stuff. Neither do we. But we're not building missiles. Instead, we're trying to get Trump out of office, or see he doesn't get back in office. In February, tests were held for the Satan II missile while U.S. President Joe Biden was visiting Ukraine. Okay. So what does all this mean? I think I'm pretty comfortable that 2023 is not the year the Russians are going to attack. And most of the time, I don't think it's going to happen in 2024. Although some information I'm getting makes me wonder. I want to believe that we still have several more years. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Rule number 1, make sure your name is written in the book of life. Rule number 1, ask Jesus to forgive your sins. That's the most important thing. Number 2, most important thing, whatever happens, do not take that mark of the beast. You take that mark of the beast, you can cut your hand off, you can chisel off your forehead, but you're going to spend all eternity with the beast, the false prophet, and 1,000 years later, Lucifer joins them, and all the other people that take the mark of the beast, and there is no hope of escape. You're tormented. That means you're in total pain. It means that your body, although it's not a body of flesh, whatever it is, your body is totally being burned for all eternity, and there is no stopping it. There is no escaping it. Whatever happens, you do not want to take that mark of the beast, which, by the way, I would recommend you go to prophecyclub.com and get my book, Miss the Mark. As a matter of fact, it's sold so much, we are, I think, now going into the 5th printing. This book is simple. It only takes about 3 hours to read. It's designed to give to someone that's not a Christian, doesn't know Jesus, that hadn't read the Bible. Give it to anybody out there. If they'll read the first few pages, they'll probably finish the book. And if they finish the book, I don't care what God they used to have, they're not going to take that mark of the beast. And chances are very strong they'll receive Jesus. So for that, I would send you to prophecyclub.com. 1 for $20, and you'll have to check and get whatever the other prices are. I will say this, they just went up substantially on our printing price. And so guess what? No surprise, we had to go up on our prices too. But nevertheless, not about money. It's about winning souls. I also want to say, again, thank you. Thank you. My mailbox was again full today with birthday cards, and I'm humbled, I'm shocked, I'm blessed that so many people would take their time to just say happy birthday. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and God bless you. Let's talk about Joseph's Kitchen. I actually cooked this loaf of bread you're seeing here. Takes me about 10 minutes to put the ingredients together, put it into a bread machine, push a button, 2 hours, 20 minutes later, I get a loaf of bread out like that. Now, if you cut that loaf of bread that weighs about 3 pounds, the loaves you get in the store have most of the good stuff removed. The loaves you get in the store are about 1 pound. That's 3 pounds because it's got the good stuff still in it. Cut that into 14 slices, and if I eat a slice in the morning and the afternoon, I'm satisfied. So on that basis, one loaf can sustain, I didn't say it's everything we want, can sustain one person for a week. Based upon that, it'll get you excellent nutrition. It tastes good, long storage life, 10 minutes to combine the ingredients, 2 hours, 20 minutes to make it. Other wheat that you order arrives in paper bags, which means bugs, rice, humidity can get a hold of it and ruin it. But at Joseph's Kitchen, they send it out in 100 mil thick buckets. Gives you long shelf life. It's stackable. It's nitrogen infuses that hopefully gives it much longer shelf life, kills bugs and things like that. Easily resealable, keep in a climate-controlled area. And they have it in stock. This is a picture, an actual picture of part of the warehouse. Here's another picture of these. Actually, each one of those boxes holds 2,500 pounds of wheat. And I think they've got 54 of those boxes, a bunch of them. So Joseph's Kitchen can ship it to you right now. You go to most of these places, they say out of stock. So here's what you want to do. Everybody needs to get a machine package. These are the things that you need to grind the wheat berries. Put them into a grinder. 30 seconds later, you have flour. You put that into the bread machine along with 6 other ingredients. Push about 2 hours, 20 minutes later, you have a nice hot loaf of whole wheat bread. Then you have to decide how much food you want. You want food 2 people 1 year, 4 people 1 year, 6 people 1 year. And if you want to make certain you have it when the electricity goes down, you can also get yourself a solar generator, all at josephskitchen.com. josephskitchen.com. Terry Saka with CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. So what's going on in the world of finances? Why should they call today?
Well, China has laid out in a speech a few weeks ago exactly what they think of the United States. I haven't seen that in my 55 years. With China and Russia forming these reserve currencies, new reserve currency, we better be prepared because that dollar is going to be in deep trouble and we're going to need assets to protect us from it.
CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. Call them or go online, CornerstoneAssetMetals.com, or call them at 888-747-3309. 888-747-3309. Secret door to understand Bible prophecy. It will help you to understand. It's not complicated, but it is deep, because to understand Bible prophecy, well, let's put it this way. I wish I had had the book 30 years ago. It would have helped me understand Bible prophecy. It would have put so many misunderstandings that I have had through the years in place. Matter of fact, when I started getting these 30 revelations, because I memorized the book of Revelation, I learned a lot. I learned a lot I did not know. I think I went to school with Jesus, and I don't think I'm something special. Matter of fact, I don't even think it came because I memorized the book of Revelation. I think you're something special. I think he gave the book to his end-time saints, his end-time watchmen, so that you can explain to people, so you can be a part of the great move of God, the great harvest, the thousands upon thousands of souls that are about to come to Jesus. And if you want to share in that harvest, you need to be able to explain Bible prophecy, and the Holy Spirit is not going to put up with you teaching a bunch of errors. You got to know what you got to know. And that is, you got to kick out that idea thinking that there's going to be a pre-trib rapture. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's other things, you got to learn. And this is the reason I think he gave the book. Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, prophecyclub.com. prophecyclub.com.